Assalamu alaikum. This lecture is on HTML, and this is chapter 2. In this chapter, we would like to go over a lot of different elements that form up the HTML document. So I'm going to give you brief definition of HTML and how to edit HTML file, and then we're going to go through the first HTML example telling you about all elements or tags like HTML tag, head element and body element, and also title element. Then we'll go through some other elements like paragraph and heading, and we will explain how you can add hyperlinks to your document, and also how to link your email address. Then we will show you some examples on how you can add images to your HTML document, and including the attributes like src attribute or alt attribute, width and height and so forth, and explain the difference between the full elements or tagged elements and void elements. Then we will give you some examples on how you can see an image on a link, or how you can make an image a link. Then we will talk about list items. There are two list items. These are ordered list and unordered list. We will cover them. And at the end, we will cover the tables, how you create tables and forms in HTML. And we will also explain as part of the linking criteria of HTML, we would like to explain how you can create internal links on your document and include meta elements in your document. So these are the topics for this class today. Alright, what is about HTML? What is HTML? HTML is a short or an acronym for hypertext markup language. In chapter 1 we did explain the evolution of HTML and who created HTML and who is managing HTML, and the language itself, what does it do, what is the influence of this HTML. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. H for hyper, T for text, markup, M for markup, and L for language. Hypertext Markup Language. So it's not a programming language, it is a markup language. Markup languages are those languages that usually they are not conforming to programming constructs, but they are standard markup for web pages. There is a lot of markup languages like XML, which is extensible markup language, and also XHTML, XLTLL, and there are a lot of different languages that are used for either storing documents, storing information, or for transporting information from one application to another. We have like different languages that part of them are server side and some of them are client side. But markup language is simply a language to create websites. Markup language or HTML is working with elements or tags. We call them tags or elements. Usually are contained within angle bracket, not curly bracket, angle bracket, like the symbol for less than and closed with a symbol for greater than, together like that. So inside there is the elements, and so it is used to create website, and we talk about the content as structure, the content and structure of the website. and the style is done through a different language called cascading style sheets. So let us start first by telling you how you can edit an HTML and how you can create HTML. Usually you can create an HTML by Notepad, as simple as that. And you can create a Notepad. You can open Notepad program, and then start writing your elements. The first element is HTML. Let me maximize my screen. HTML, and you close it with /HTML. So you have an opening tag or opening element, HTML, and at the end of your document you end with the same element name preceded by a forward slash, like this, closing it. So you can actually create it using what? Using HTML, just like that, using Notepad. And here you have head, and also you close it with the /head in the head section. Later we're gonna talk about what includes in the head section. And then we have the body section, like this one, body, and then you close it with the /body. Here in the head section you can include title for your site, title, and then /title, you close it here. So this is your page title, should be here. This is what you see here on top of your blue bar. What is the title? Here, for example, the title of this, or the name of this page, is called Untitled. Here, when you actually open this file in a browser, you should see the name that you put here in the title element. In the body section, everything else goes in the body section. So this section here, it has all other elements. If you have paragraphs, if you have images, headings, stuff like that, they go here in the body section. So you can edit using Notepad, or you can open Notepad++. So if you have downloaded Notepad++, which is I already uploaded the application for you to download and use in the Blackboard, you can use Notepad++, or you can use NetBeans. For those who are using Linux and Unix, they can use VI Visual Editor, VI Editor, or CMax Editor. There is hundreds of different editors that you can use to work with HTML file. For example, for me, I downloaded Notepad++, which I like to work with it. So here I can actually right-click in any one of these files and then open edit with Notepad++. So I can actually right-click on the file and then open it with Notepad+, like this. So I can actually open it and edit it, or you can select from the list here. You can open with, and then here choose the application that you have. Application is NetBeans or any other app that you have installed. For example, here you can select WordPad, Word document, or Notepad. You can open it with Notepad like this. So if you click Notepad, it will open like this. You can edit it. So this is how you can edit the HTML file. So let me show you the first example that I have, which is this one. The first example for my HTML. You have I'm going to talk about this first line in a minute, but let me first start from line number 2, which is this one. When you click on it in Notepad++, it will show both of them, the opening one and the closing one. HTML is the first element in your document, and you close it here like that. Everything goes inside. The head element is a top element on your HTML document in which we can keep many things. One of them is title. Title of the page, it goes in the head element. Also the style. If you have style element, style usually is used to change the format of your web page. So if you have a style to change your web page colors, font, and background color, foreground color, and a lot of different things, then you can have to include them here in this one. Another thing is JavaScript. You have a script, then you can actually have your JavaScript code here in this part. So these are three things here that you can include in the head section. Another thing that you can include is meta element, and meta element is the element that help you find your website. It helps people find your website in the search engine. We will come to it later in this class, at the end of this class. So these four stuff here, they go in the head element. So right now I would like to remove this and just keep the first one, which is the title. Okay, what is here in between line number 7 and line number 10 is the body. So everything here goes in the body section. So if you have other elements like paragraph, for example, this is a paragraph element. P means paragraph. That means you would like to create a paragraph, and in this paragraph you would like to write this text, welcome to HTML5, and then you can copy and paste and change the text. For example, here you can say this is my first HTML file. So I have another paragraph created. Alright, so you save it, and you can go and refresh. If it is already opened, you can refresh here like that, or if it is not opened in the browser, you have to go there and double click on it because it's already saved here as welcome. Right? Okay, I have to tell you that this is to be saved as extension HTML, and when you finish doing this, click save, save as, and then name of the file, welcome.html. So the extension of this one, HTML, or you can just use HTM. I prefer to use HTML. And then don't forget that you change here. If you are using Notepad++, you don't have to put that extension. You can click here, save as type, and then select from the list here. You will find here hypertext markup language file type. You can select it like that, and then you can click save like that. It is already saved there. But if it is a notepad, just a notepad like this one, then you can click save, save as, and then welcome to .html. Here you have to write it in the notepad. You have to write the extension, but in the Notepad++, you don't have to write the extension. You can choose the extension from the big list, but here you have to write the extension .html. But don't just click save. Don't forget to click here in the save as file type, and then click all files, and then click save. Because if you don't select all files, it is going to be saved as .txt. It's going to be like a text file. See here, for example, let me save this one to my desktop and show you the difference. Here, welcome to, and I didn't change this one. I just left it like a text document and click save. It is saved, but it is saved as text file, as you will see here. Let me show you. Here, it's just a text file. If you double click, it will open as a text file. But if you saved it like this, file, save as, welcome.html, and then you remove this one and choose all files, and then click save, it will save it as you know, a web file, which is with the difference here. This is saved with txt, and this is saved with .html, and the name of the file here is actually welcome to .html.txt. So it will use .html as part of the name, and then give you the extension for the text file, which is a notepad. It will be like this, but this one is welcome to .html straight. So this is how you can actually save it. All right, so this is my this is how to open and edit and save it as with this file extension, and this is my paragraph. So what is the difference between paragraph and another? You see the difference is that here you have a bigger space. If you don't have a paragraph, if you just put like this one, and you put it like that, what do you guess? Yeah, and then you refresh, you will find it all in one line. So if you don't put a paragraph in each one, you will see it in one line. Okay, you can use a new line BR, break line, line break, break line, and then you can actually have it in 2 lines as well, like this. You see, I have 2 lines. This is the first line. BR means break, line break. So it will give you 2 lines, as you could see here. See, welcome to HTML5. This is my first HTML file. So what is the difference between paragraph and BR? Paragraph will give you first two big differences. The first one, paragraph will give you a bigger space. So if you actually see, this is a bigger space, right? And the second thing is paragraph will allow you to use an attribute to change the text inside the paragraph. What does I mean by attribute? Attribute, if you'd like to give this an ID, for example, or you would like to change the color, if you'd like to add a style here, for example, inline style, and then use color red, for example, for this text. So paragraph will allow you to add an attribute. An attribute is an item that is added to the element in order to change something. For example, I'd like to add this welcome to HTML5. I would like to make it red, so you can have an inline style like that, and then when you refresh, you will see this one is colored. So the difference between using BR and P, this is in the P you can actually have some attributes to change something. While in the BR is just a new line, that's it. BR is one of the void elements. That means you don't have a closing BR. You just BR by itself, which is what's called void element, an element without ending. So in my class today, I would like to show you how you can actually also add some lines size. We have line heading. It's there are 6 of them. So here, for example, H1 is the biggest line heading. Also, you close it with H1. This is 1. So you can put here something like welcome. Okay, and then you see how is it reflected in my, when I refresh, you see welcome as big font like that. And then another heading is H2, and you might notice that as you go bigger in the number, you go smaller in the size of that text. Yeah, welcome is smaller in size, and so forth. So you have like 6 headings like this: H1, H2, H3, H4, and H5 and H6. So here 5, and the last one is 6. Don't forget to change them here on this side as well, on the closing side. So here 3, 4, 5, and 6. I would like you to notice the word welcome, how is it changed from one line to another. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The bigger the number, the smaller the heading of that text. So this is about the 6 heading elements, which is H1 through H6. All right. So if you would like to have a big, big title for your page, then you can use H1. You can color it as well, by the way, same like I did with this paragraph. I can usually use this one here to add an attribute called style and change this color, for example, to blue, like that. So this one will change this color to blue, and then also I can do a lot of different things here in this H1 before I close it. You can actually add background color for this word as well. You can change the font family. For example, here you can change the font dash family Arial. So you can change the font of this head to a different font type, which is Arial. You see here, welcome in the second, or the heading number 2 is different. The type of the font is Arial now. You can have sans serifs, you can have Helvetica and other. There is a lot of different font families that you can use. So here, these are the headings, and as I said, in the heading you can actually leave it like that, or you can include some attributes, as you could see there. Links, how to link. In order to link, let me remove this and add a link. Let me just refresh. So this is my site now. It has only this line. How to add a hyperlink. A hyperlink can be added. I have a ready link here that I would like to show you. I would like to link to Google website. All right. So here, look at my text. Say, my text says open Google website. Okay, open Google website. I would like the user, when he sees this open Google web, when he click here, to open Google website. Okay, let me show you how it looks like in my file when I refresh it. So every time you have to save and then refresh. Here it is, open Google website. So actually when you click on it, it takes you to Google website, as you could see there. All right, what did I do in this text? I used the anchor tag. It's called anchor tag, which is A. A is the anchor tag, and I don't close it straight here. No, I don't close it here. I close it after I add this attribute href equal, and then I put google.com between quotations after equal sign, and then close it here. This is the place where I close it. Of course, I need to close the entire tag at the end by using /a. So what I see on the browser, I see open Google website, and this is the website that it opens. So when you click here as a link, it goes here to this website. So and it shows your website like this. So click here, and then it will open that website. You can also link to any file. If you have a file, for example, in your computer, and it is in the C drive or D drive, you can also open it using this, but you have to use an absolute path name. So if it is in C drive, for example, and then it is in the my documents, my docs, and the file is called for example project.docs, docx, for example, and this is I have a file called project.docs. I think there is an X here, whatever. And this is saved in a folder called my docs. You find saved in the C drive. So you can actually here you can say open the project, and then this one will actually open that file from its location, right? So here, open the project. Let me put BR here to make a line break, so that you can see it in two lines, two different lines, like this. Open the project. So if you click here, it will open that from C, my document. Now I don't have that actually file saved, and I don't have a folder called my docs. But if it is there, then it will open this for you from your computer. So you can actually link to a website, or you can link to any drive location. You can link to any file if you use the right extension of that file. And also at the end of this class, I will tell you how to link to an internal link or link to the same document, whether in the middle or top or at the bottom. Okay, this is how you can link. Also, you can actually link an image. But first, let me show you how you can include an image. I have an image here. Let me include this image. All right. Please look at line number 8, okay? Line number 8 here. I used an element called img. By the way, img is not closed with /img. It's closed just like slash with an angle bracket like that. So this is one of the void elements that it doesn't have a closing element. It's just opening element. And then you just close it like that with the slash. And then the angle bracket. Okay, I have here, as you could see, a lot of attributes. I have src attribute. src stands for source. The source means the location of the file where the image is saved. The image is called apple.jpg. I saved it in the same location, because if I saved it in a different location, I have to mention here the extension or the path name of that file. But I saved it in the same location where this welcome.html file is located. So src stands for source. alt means alternatively display these two words, green apple. What does that mean? It means if the file is not opened for any reason, then instead of just giving me a red cross or something like that, give me this word, green apple, so that I know that this image actually is a green apple, but it's not showing. Why the image cannot show? The image cannot show for many reasons. It's not in the right location, or the file name is wrong, or the extension is wrong, or is not there at all. So in this case, if you don't have an alt, then it will give you a cross. You don't know what happens. But now what it will give you indication, at least it will give you indication that this is actually meant to be a green apple, but it's not there. So this is optional, of course, but it is very important. No matter how the width or the height of this image, it will be displayed with 200 pixels as wide and 200 pixels as high. So the width of this is going to be 200 by 200. If I take this, all of them from here, it's okay, no problem. Let me take them, save my file, and refresh, and see what happens. And this is actually my green apple. It's so big. I downloaded it earlier from Google Images, but this is so big. I would like to make it smaller. So that's why I actually added width and height for it. So 200 by 200. Let me see how it comes like that, smaller. You know, if you make it 100 and 100, it will show it like this. All right, even smaller. You know? Beautiful green apple. Alright, this is my green apple, and what is this? I said this is to show you an indication of what the image look like. So for example, if I don't have this one at all, and then there is something wrong in this file, I put G apple, for example, while I mean apple. Then when I do this, refresh, it will show me this square. Sometimes it is a cross here with red cross. It depends on the browser that you are using. Now I don't know what this image must be. What is it? Is it a picture of somebody? A picture of an animal? A picture of what? I don't know. But now if I put ALT like that and saved and then refresh, it will tell me that this is actually green apple. It's not there, but this is a green apple. Okay, it will give me just an indication. So this is optional, as I told you, but it will give you indication of what the image should be. But if the image is there with the correct file name, extension name, location, everything, it will give you the image itself. Okay, now I would like to show you how you can actually make this image a link. That's right. So you can click on this image here, and then it will take you to the page that talks about green apples. So let me give you this example here, which I prepared earlier for the purpose of this recording. Here I'm going to actually remove this and put the whole thing. Alright, this is my line, guys. I didn't change anything. This is my line, except this one is 100 and this one by 100. But look at this line on top. This line is hyperlink, as I did talk about it earlier, with anchor tag href equal put between quotation, this quotation and the last quotation here. This is a copy of the URL where this website is. I copied the entire URL there from the URL address, and then I pasted it here and I closed it between quotation like that. Then I closed my A, and then at the end I didn't forget to close my anchor tag after the image. Then I will save it and see how this one should refresh. When you refresh, this one will show you as a link, as you could see. So when you click here, it will do what? It will open this special specialty whatever produce.com produce green apple. This is a file which is green apple with this number.php. It will open that one if you click on it like this. So it will be a link, and as I told you earlier, you can link to a URL, you can link to a file, you can link to anything. And here I'm just showing you that this image has been displayed and is being linked to this website through this code. Okay, try to do some examples and see how it works for you. Alright, so here how do I link to an email address? To link to an email address, also, yeah, you can link to an email address. So for example, I would like to link to my email. I would like you, for example, to send me an email. So here at the bottom of my page, I would like to write my name. My name is so and so, and here click here to send me an email. Okay, so what did I do? It's the same anchor tag href equal, but what do you see here? Instead of a website title, you will see mail to colon and then my email address. Yeah, mail to, and then put your email address here. And if your Outlook program in your desktop is set up so that it will open the email here for this one, it will just immediately open a box for you to send an email. But this one should look like this. Don't forget to close it here at the end with /a as usual, as you have been doing with others. So here at the end, let me also put it in a paragraph, because if I don't put it in a paragraph or a break line, it will show that in the same line as the previous text. So but here I'm putting it, the whole thing, in a paragraph. So refreshing, yeah, click here to send me an email. So if you click here, it will try to open the email server via your email. If you have an account, for example, in Outlook or other application, Google email or whatever, then it will actually, if you automatically connected, then it will now if I put my email, and then for example if I set my email, I didn't set this email here, but if I set my email here, zainm@ucj.edu.sa, it will send an email to this one. So here it will ask you to, but it doesn't, I don't have an account here on this email server, so it doesn't go. But usually if your email is set up, you can add your account here to the email, and that will actually open a text editor where you can send an email to anybody. So here is how you do it. Edu. Alright, so let me see what is my email is set for, because my email is not on this desktop. I think on the different desktop, but anyway, you know the idea, right? I mean, mail to mailto : and then the email address, and then here the message, like send me an email, or click here to send an email or something like that, and then it will send that email to this one. All right, now I would like to talk about the list items, and the list items are simply two different list items. I would prefer to show you this example first. Look at, there is two different lists. Okay, two different lists. The first list, you see that here I have these four list items, which is a dark circle, and the other set is actually ordered list with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to talk about why this one has a link later, but now just focus on what? Focus on the type of list. This is called unordered list. Unordered means it could be circles, it could be squares, it could be bullets, it could be checks, it could be crosses, it could be anything. But ordered list, the default is numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. But you can change it to characters like A, B, C, D, like this, or Roman, like I, double I, triple I, IV, I, and so forth. So this is, we call it ordered list, but this one here is called unordered list. Let me show you how you can do this. I'm going to open the file here in the editor and explain it. All right. Okay, here is UL, and you end with the /UL. UL stands for unordered list. Okay, unordered list. And inside UL, you have the list items, which is written like by the element li, and then every one of them ending with /li. So this one also start with li and then end with /li, and so forth. I have 4 of them here. See? So this unordered. The default is a black circles. But if you can change the type, for example, you can make it, if you put for example circle here on you add attribute for this one, type equals circle, and you save and you try to refresh and see what happens. This one will change it, of course, to circles like that. Or if you can like to change it to square, you can change also here this type. You can change, add attribute for this one and change it to square spelling. Square. Alright, here it is, square, not circle. Also for this ordered list, you have OL and /OL. This one also is added to give you or default numbers 1 2 3 4 5. You should put same like the other one. Each one is starting with an element li, ending with an element /li, like this, 5 of them. And earlier I promised that I'm going to talk about this internet is used to find news. I just want to tell you that a list item, inside the list item you can have anything. You can have an image, you can have a link like here. This is, for example, I added this link. I would like to link this text. This text, I would like to link it to this website. So that means if I click on this text, it will open this link. So I added anchor tag href equal this website. Okay. Yeah. All right. So here, for example, let me refresh and then close and then click here. If we click here, it should open the website that I have already included, which is CNN website. This one. Also, you can add an image if you like. You can add an image in each one of them. And for example, in this one, if I would like to add an image here, like the previous image, img, for example, src equal. I have this apple dot jpg, and then I would like to put width very small because I don't want to make it a big here in the list. Width equal say for example 20, and height equal 20 pixels. Okay, so I can actually have this one including the, instead of including a text, it includes what? Includes an image. Okay, so if the image is there in the same location where this file is, let me go back here and refresh. Yeah, and then actually I can put br, because in this case, if you have it like that, you need to put it in a line by itself. Oh, okay, number 1, 2 and 3. Where is number 4? All right. Yeah, internet is used. So this is li. Yeah. So you can have actually, because I have 1 2, and this is in the same line as the previous. So I included in this part, I included this this image, which is usually it is not preferred to have it in a list item because it's gonna make a distortion to your list items. It is preferred to put them in a table, as I will show you in a minute. But I would like to undo to show you a better example, which is the order list can have type equal a, like that. That means instead of 1 2 3, you will find them like a b c d e f and so forth. Of course, if you like them capital, you can just change this one to capital, and then it will show you ABC capitals. Also, if you like to have Roman numbers, you can have them like I, double I, triple I, IVI, or capital. If you like to see this as capital, you can do this as well to change the type of this. So this is basically how to create order list automatically. You don't have to create BR, guys, unless you change the what the content and you'd like to put, for example, images or buttons or stuff like that. Then you can use BR, but automatically LI, it will give you a new line anyway. As you could see here, it will give you a new line. All right. All right. Now, you can practice doing your own websites using bullets, or using circles, or using ordered list or unordered list. Here I would like to talk about the tables, how you create tables. And in order to create a table, let me open one of my files, which is this one, this table here. This table is a table of fruits, where I have fruit name and the price. So how many rows I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. How to 5 rows and two columns. Usually in HTML, you don't worry about the columns. You create rows, and then automatically when you create the data inside the table, the columns will be created. So if I would like to show you this source, you can right click, by the way, in your HTML document and click view source to see the code. So here, let me, because I would like to have them all in one screen to show you this. This is a simple HTML table. First, you start with table, and then end at the end here with table /table. But you notice that I have added another attribute for table, which is this attribute is for the border equal 1. If I don't have border, then the table will not show as a table. So for example, if I would like to change it, let me try to change it and remove this border from here and see what happens. If I did that and then try to refresh, you will see this written like a table, but there is no lines separating these words and numbers, right? So here you have to do what? You have to include at least 1 pixel border, because if you added more than 1 pixel, the border will be really big. Even 5 is going to be really big border. So you can just keep it 1, and then it will be correct enough. 5. This is 5. The border is the outside one, but inside the table there are different things like the cell spacing and cell differences and centering and stuff like that. We will refer to them later in our classes. But here, this is a border for the table in pixels. This one, table fruits. Caption is that means caption is optional, but caption here means the title of this. So here, if I put caption, it will actually center it, like center. Here, strong means bold text, because you can do a lot of things here. You can make it H2, for example, H2 instead of strong, and then it will show you this one as this. But strong will make it bold. H2, H3, H4, this will change the size. If you make it, for example, H1, it will make it the biggest text that you can see here on this table of fruits. So let me undo and change it back to what? To strong, like that. See here. Okay, this is how it is. If I change it back to include the caption as the beginning, between the caption is the strong, you will see it like in the middle. Caption will just center it. Instead of caption, I can put center, by the way. Also center is gonna work. Center. You can center anything, by the way. Center anything. Center a text, center an image. But center, it will center what? Center it in the center of the whole page. So now the difference is that caption will center it on top of what? On top of your table. But the caption, يعني we center it on top of your table, but center it will center it, but center it on in the middle of your page, and you don't want that. You want it here, so just keep it as caption. All right, let us move ahead down there and show you how you can create a table. I said you start with a table, and then TR means table row. TR stands for table row. Table row means the row of the table. TR and then ending with /TR. That means you'd like to create a row. In this row, you would like to create two items, fruit and price. Yes, fruit and price. This one, fruit and price. I will show you why fruit and price font type is different from others. But now let me go to the second table row. Second table row, this one, in which I have two different elements or items, apple and the price of the apple. Each one of them is inside TD element. TD element means table data. Table data means the data of the table. And what do I include? The cell, the item inside the table, or the cell. So I have two of them, apple and 0.25. That you will see it like this in your table, apple and 0.25. And then another one for orange, another one for banana, another one for pineapple. Each one has two. If you'd like to have them three, for example, you would like to have to include here something else like picture, for example, picture. You can include picture here, no problem with that. This will add a new column like this one, picture. All right, and then for example, I would like to include a picture for this one, which is that apple. Let me just add that green apple that I have. IMG. Let me including IMG. src equal apple.jpg. I'm gonna make it smaller. And you remember earlier when I was trying to put it in the bullet list and it was distorting my list, but now it's gonna be good because I'm gonna make it small here in the table because I'm gonna make it in this cell. Alright, so here I'm going to close this one here, but I would like to add widths, small widths. Width equal 10 equal 10 pixels, and height equal also 10 pixels. So I'd like to make it like that. So here I added a picture at a third column, and here I added the actual picture for the apple, and I can do this one here for the orange, another one for banana, another one for pineapple. Each one is going to be a third one. Now it will look like this one. The picture of this one is very small, so let me actually make it 30 so that it is visible like that. Okay, here it is. Good. If you did another one here for the banana, if you have banana picture, and then you can add another one for pineapple and one for orange and so forth, then you will see the pictures like that. Now this is each one of these table rows include these pictures, but it is only one picture in my case because I have copied and pasted this. Alright, so this is how you can create a table, and I'm just telling you that in the table you can have a text, you can have a number, you can have this pictures. But now let me before I forget tell you what is the difference between this and others. This one you will find is centered in bold. Center bold because it doesn't sit in a TD, it sits in a TH. TH stands for table head. Table head or TH and slash table head at the end. It will not only make it bold, but it will center it as well. Center it here. Make it center and bold. Although you can center this, but if you put TH, it will make it bold as well, and you don't want it to make it bold. So you can actually make it center. You can just make it here center like that, and then it will center everything for you. For this one, for example, TR. Let me put everything here and see how it works. Center slash center. Then refresh. I guess you need to center in TR and center. Okay, then you go inside the TR, center, and then center. Why is not working? Center slash center slash center. Because you can make a style, but if it is style, it will work. But here, I guess you have to do it one by one, which I don't like that. I prefer to use style sheet. So if you like to center it one by one like this, it will work, but it is not appropriate to have it for everything. So here apple is being centered, and then you do it for orange like that and so forth, which is not convenient to have it on all of them. So I will show you in chapter 3 and 4, chapter 3 specifically, how you can actually center them all. So here, I guess in the table, if you like to center everything, you have to go individually to each cell and then write center for each one. Okay, but just talking back about the fruit price and picture, the reason why are in bold and centered is because they have TH. That's what I wanted to say. Okay. All right. The last thing I would like to talk about is this form element. Let me open a form and show you what I mean by this. Here, form is usually means of inputting information. So this is, for example, a form that has feedback form, says please fill out this form to help us improve our site. Write your name and click submit. This is very simple one. How do I create a form? Let me show you the source code for this. Okay. All right. Let me close these files and this file, and then make this one on this side. I would like to show both of these files here so that I can explain it better. All right, so here the code. Remember, in the table we start with table slash table. Here we start with form and slash form. The rest of this is attributes actually, because methods equal post means you would like to send this to a place, a website or a server or something. You can include method equal post, action equal the server or the website where this form is going. So when you click here submit, where does it go? It goes to a place, right? That place is this one here, denoted by the action. This is the server where this form will go. But the default is without any attribute. You can just write form and close it. But this is just for teaching purposes if you do it that for learning, but you don't send it to another place. But if you like to post it or send it to a place, you have to include two attributes. One of them is method equal post, and the other one is action and equal to the website or the server where this form is going. So this is the first one in your form, which is the element form. But as I said, you can just have form and close it without any attribute. Okay, now this form has two things. Okay, has three things actually. Has four things. Sorry, has a name, which is a label, and it has a input box where people can actually write inside, and I have two buttons, submit and clear. I would like to show you this here in my code. In my code, you will see name. Name means the name or the label of this input box, which is you can create a label. So here I created a paragraph, and then this paragraph is being closed right here at the end. But inside the paragraph, I have a label, and this label is name, like that. And then at the end, I close the label as well. But before I close the label, before I close the opening label, I put input. Input is an element to create an input text. Use input, and here the important thing is type. Name is not important. This is optional. We don't need it here in HTML, but it is important when we go to PHP or JavaScript, when we like to actually link this to a database. But now you can just keep it as type equal text. Text means a text box, because the other type, for example, submit here for input means a button to submit. Reset means a button to clear. So the type is very important attribute for the input element. Input element here, input. Also, input element is one of the void elements. You don't have a closing part of it. You don't have a slash input at the end. You use input and then you just close it at the end. You can close it with angle bracket like this, or you close it with a slash angle bracket. No problem with that. But this line, simply this line here, will create this label and will create the input text. The size also is optional, but here size means the 25 characters. The size of this when the size of this is 25 pixels. 25 pixels, the size of this input element. Max length equal 30. It means 30 characters. Maximum length of this input size is 30 characters. This 25 refers back to the pixels, but 30 is for the characters. And here, for example, if you have characters and you like to create them, it will stop here when it reaches 30 characters, maximum length. Alright, so if I put, for example, maximum length 10, then it will stop at 10. Let me open it and show you this as example. Okay, here it is. For example, I would like to make it as 7, maximum length 7. Okay, and then I would like to refresh. Type. Now 25. Okay, here it is. 25 is the size of my input box, but is it going to take 25 characters? No, because I put maximum length 7. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, خلاص. G is the last one, 7 characters. I cannot write anymore. So here the maximum length means the number of characters that you can have. Okay. All right. So this is my my input box for this input element, which is input, as I said, and then the name of that label here, this one here on the left. But I said name equal whatever is. This is not important. You don't have to include it now. It is important later when we do PHP and MySQL, as I will remind you of this. The last two things here are inside the paragraph is two input elements. These, one of them is submit, type equals submit, and the value equals submit. Okay. What is the difference between type and value? Type means the type of it is a button, yani button. Yani here, for example, you see type equal reset, but you don't see reset here. You see clear because I put value clear. For example, if you put close here and refresh, sorry, let me just also make this send. So what is going to change? It's going to change what is written here. All right, here, send and close. So the value is the caption inside these buttons. Type is the button, like a button. Yani put type submit, because this submit will work later with this method. So if you click in submit, if you make it submit, that means if you click on it, it will propagate to the action that has been set in the form opening element. Reset clears. That means if you write something here and would like to click close, this is not close actually, to clear. To reset means clear. So it is better to call it clear, not close. Okay, but I'm just changing the name here to show you that you can actually have different things. Or remove text, for example, or reset. So you can call it anything. So here, let me refresh. Clear. Okay, clear. Write something. If you don't like it, if you don't like this thing, clear. It will clear it. So reset the form. Basically, this is how you could create an import element. We will show you in a different example. I don't want this video to be prolonged, but I have another video to create a form, a big form. I will also upload it there for you to see another example on how to create a form with different things, with checkboxes, with option buttons, with drop-down list, with comment area and so forth, which will be recorded in a different video to avoid having a very long video in this class. All right, the last thing I would like to talk about, guys, is when I said the internal link. 1 hour and 7 minutes. This is a very long video, but okay. Let me just quickly show this one. This is our internal link. I would like to show you what internal link means. Look at this page. This page is very long, right? Look, I have to go all the way down to read. Very long, very long. So the internal link is to link to a different part of the document. For example, if you'd like to go to the top, or you'd like to go to the middle, or you'd like to go to the bottom, you don't have to scroll like this. You can just do what? You can just create internal link. How do you create internal link? This is how you create an internal link. Okay, let me show you. You create an internal link by creating an ID for the location where you want to go. For example, here, this is the first page. I created a link for a word called bottom, and I put hash, which is a pound sign here, before the word bottom, and said I go to the bottom of the document. Okay, so here, if I go here, this link, go to the bottom of the document. If I click here, it will take me all the way back to the bottom of the document. Here it is. But what is bottom? What is this bottom? Bottom is an ID I created down there at the bottom of the page here. In the paragraph, I put an attribute called ID equal bottom, just like that. As simple as that here. So here it is. This is my paragraph. And then I create a paragraph called bottom of the document. And then here I included an ID equal bottom. bottom, bottom. Okay, and then I went all the way to the top of the page and I included a link to go to that place, but I have to use what? The hash or the pound character. That means when I click here in this link, go to the bottom of the document, it will take me to this place, denoted by that ID. All right. Similarly, if I am on the bottom of the page, I would like to go to the top. I click on this link, go to the top of the page. I click here, and then it takes me to the top of the page. Okay, how did I do that? I went to the top of the page. I created an ID called top. I created top of the page. So this is the place where I want. When I click, I want to come here. But I have to come down to the bottom of that page and create the link for it. This is my link, which is, here it is. Go to the top of the document here, and then I created it as anchor tag href equal pound top. All right. So this is a link. As you could see here, it is a link. Here it is. Let me go down. Yeah, this is a link. And then you click here, go to the top of the document, it will take you to that top of the document. So this is called internal links. I would like to stop this video here because it's getting very long, and in my next video I will try to touch bases on the thing that I skipped or I couldn't cover for this class. All right, thank you.